I'm not a tech company owner. I joke about it because I'm a 14-time college dropout before this first day ever started. I'm not an IT guy. I'm not a college graduate. I'm a high school, graduate. For me, technology, it's a weird area because as much as I love technology, I hate it just as much. It can either be overwhelming or it can be super simple for a lot of people. But you've taken a product that says, for the guy that doesn't know anything about technology that just needs to tell someone to do something, now you can type it in and do it. I get a work order in, and I've tested this a couple times too. So I've gotten a purchase order and a work order for Cerakote work. And I've set up my Cerakote cells to be very specific. I emailed that work order to my Start Proto account, and I said, create this work order for me. And it linked it to my Cerakote work order. It added the process in and everything, and added everything it needed. It even saw the Cerakote colors, and it read what part of the item it went to. So I got a customer that wants their upper receiver coated a different color than the lower receiver. It breaks that down and puts it into the process on its own, which is beautiful because now when I go into Cerakote as a certified applicator, I can break this down into a process of the whole section of the gun. So I took my current manufacturing items in Odoo, and I took their bill of material, and I took every single step out of it, and I broke it down to a spreadsheet. And I changed that spreadsheet up a little bit, and I said, okay, I have this entire spreadsheet. I have an AR-15 broken down to an upper and lower receiver, and I have 10 different variants of each of those upper receivers, and I have 3 different variants of my lower receiver. How do I get that in there? And I said, just extract the data, make the product in Start Proto, rather than having to make a brand new spreadsheet, which is essentially the easy way of doing it. I didn't want to create a new spreadsheet. I've done enough of those. So I'm taking these spreadsheets that I've already created, and it says, okay, I say, create this build product. Then I say, create this bill of material for the build product. And one thing I forgot to add in was the cost of that item. So the cost of the barrel, the cost of upper receiver, the cost of the handguard, all these costs of the distributor form or supplier. But then, I forget to add one item in here or there. Well, say a bolt carrier group. I say search for a 5.56 upper receiver, and I need a bolt carrier group for it. Add the bolt carrier group into it, and it adds it into it for me. Now I don't have to search for something that's missing something. I can just say, I need you to find this, and I need you to find the discrepancy here and change it for me. And that right there saves, I'm going to say countless hours, because I've done that before, where you have to go in and find each item that you entered the wrong product in because you just built it off of a template that you created. And so every one of them is built the same. Now you got to go in and edit each one of those. And I want to do that. So Start Proto is doing that for me.
What you've done with the AI agent, used to take our customer success team a week. And they know the system pretty well, right? But, because you have that business context, because you know exactly what you want, because you know how your products work, really, you're working with it like it's your assistant, right? But an assistant that comes pre-trained on this new system. Kind of the way that we've built the agent, basically, it's able to read all data in the system, and it's able to write pretty much all data in the system, right? There's some limitations for safety, but generally it was so cool watching it say, you told it about bolt carrier group. It was like, okay, cool. Let me see. Okay, BCG, often shortened to that. Let me go look for it. Let me find all the parts. Let me pick this one. There's a couple different variations, and then it just kind of figures it out.
It actually took
obviously.
Yeah, I watch it sometimes, and I watch it going through its data. Yeah. You want this. Now I need to figure out what this is so I know where to put it. You say, hey, I need you to create me a build process. Well, now it takes all those parts and it says, okay, this is the build process for this. You've already got the product in there. Now it's going to create the build process for me. And so if I have someone come in that I need to say, hey, go and build this for me, they can click on it and they know exactly what my process is. And no matter who it is, it's the same process.
The approach we took is we're, kind of at the whiteboard. Okay, how do we build this system in a way to where, someone like you, a manufacturer who is good at what they do, but not necessarily going to be the biggest genius or know every system out there. How can we empower someone like you to just run their business and have this thing just act like another employee, but a really powerful one that never sleeps? Well,
and one of the things is, just the idea of Cerakote is I create my own Cerakote color combinations. Yep. Not just like a basic, adding black to white. I'm talking about you take the Cerakote FX and all these different combinations to create this really cool design with it, or prismatic look or something like that. And it's not always easy keeping track of those coats, or the measurements that we need for that Cerakote color. And we've got to keep a big giant spreadsheet of what we're looking for, and then try to find it later on and say, hey, I need this color. Well, what components do I need for that color? Well, now if I say, hey, I want arrowhead bronze, which is what we call it, then I say, okay, I'm doing arrowhead bronze on this gun. It's going to tell me exactly how much Cerakote I need, how much color or how much of the bronze effect that I need for it, and it's going to tell me the process of creating that look. And that's one thing that I'm looking forward to, is testing it out even deeper into the arrowhead bronze, because that's a very, very specific color that I created. That it's impossible for someone else to duplicate because of the combinations that I put into it. That particular combination is one that I wanted to say, okay, in the Cerakote process, we need you to mix this color. Well, this is what you need for that color. How many grams of Cerakote FX? How many grams of clear coat? How many grams of graphite black? How many grams of everything? What the process is to mix it? How long you shook it? Those are the processes that I wanted to start tracking for me, so I don't have to worry about going in there and remembering what I did.
Yeah, once you start kind of getting into more of the operator home, there's a very robust comment system that we've always used to basically do what you're describing. Obviously, there was a manual review step required at the end, etc. But now it's like, okay, cool. Hey, AI, like, go look through the 15 comments and photos I took of how I did this thing, codified into a process for me, right? Mm-hmm. And it'll just go in and build those routes. I mean, it's very good at operating the system and like interpreting what is otherwise vague instructions.
It's good at what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's good at operating Start Proto for you and like knowing about the things in it. I know you're a big fan of integrating into other systems. Obviously, as our integrations get better and better, hopefully we'll be able to tie in more and more context. Right now, obviously, generally when we do an integration, it's pulling information into it from sales and pushing information back when we kind of take some of those purchasing and other actions. And then, we kind of continue to own that manufacturing engine. Over time, it's just going to keep getting access to more and more data and being able to help you better and better.
And that's what we're looking for.